went from space trucker to wealthy assassin and star citizen. I started my journey as a lowlife in Lorville, working my way up hauling cargo, and got my hands dirty. All of this with solo play. With crime stats so high I had to go to prison for 30 hours. But it was all worth it because of the money I made, because I accumulated 50 million credits. This was my time in Star Citizen. I woke up as a lowlife in the city of Lorville. Every day is the same. I'm barely making ends meet. And I don't want another watered down coffee today. Coming out of my room, I see the entertainment of those peers around me. Entertainment that I cannot indulge in anymore. I have to make it out of the city and do something better. I want to be out there. I want to thrive. Earlier this month, I got a call from a friend about a job that needed done. I declined on the account I ain't got the money to afford a spacesuit, but I'm starting to get tired of the city and its antics. I don't have the weapons in case of emergency. I don't have anything, but I'm starting to think maybe the risk is worth the possibility of getting out of here. I called him up again and called a few friends and found someone with a cutter. The job is simple. Head up to the space station and bring back some tungsten. With the money I did have, I paid off some petty crimes just to make it out of the spaceport. I made it to the hangar zone and my buddy dropped off the ship. It's a perfect job for this ship. As long as nothing goes wrong and the door stays shut, I'll be fine. I'm not the captain of a large vessel, but this is the start of a journey that will lead me out of my situation. I'm a bit nervous, but nonetheless hopeful. One way that I describe the cutter is cozy. It's small, it's not agile, it moves like a boat. But the cockpit is one more thing that I didn't have before. I call the hangar request, I pull up my landing gear, and I get ready to make it out of the city for the first time in a long time. And the views are amazing. I slowly make it out of the atmosphere and into space. What's next is to quantum drive to Everest Harbor. The jump is successful, and now all that's left is to get the cargo and come back. I land on Everest Harbor and park inside the hangar. I head upstairs and get a burrito real quick, and a Pippin soda. The only thing that I do have to my name is a gravity gun. After the burrito, I load up the cutter real quick and come back down to Hurston. My navigation right here was way off, so I ended up kilometers away from Lorville. But I finally made it down and got the cargo out in time and loaded it up on the freight elevator. This job may have looked easy, but it was important. This job allowed me to pick up some new threads. And I accepted my new life as a hauler between the station and Lorville. And by that I mean I got really good, and I did this so many times. Each contract being 50,000 credits. To me, that was everything. But soon I started asking different haulers about their jobs. I started wondering, how did these guys actually get their different ships that they have? I started asking around and found out that there was a better way. And after doing this 1,010 times back and forth, I realized I need to expand and do better. So I heard about the C1 and rented that. Which gave me the opportunity to do 7 missions at once between the station and Lorville. This thing handles like a beast, and I finally felt like I had power. I had the world at my fingertips. I'm finally moving up in life. This was my first sporty ship, so I tried taking it out for a spin, and I started falling through the world. I was able to make 2 million credits after 7 trips. I'm richer now than I've ever dreamed about. But when you start getting into high society, you hear rumors here and there, whispers in the corners of parties. And I bumped into a funny man, goes by the name Vaughn. He had some jobs offered to me that were different. I needed something better than the C1 Spirit though. So I made my way to the planet known as Microtech to rent the perfect ship for the job. Thankfully, with my missions, I had the money for it. Nearly 2,000 credits a day to rent this thing. Constellation TAURUS. It'd be worth it soon. I needed something a bit beefy for these missions that he was talking about. So I let him know I was ready, and he started handing me jobs. They were to take out some military personnel on the moons of Daymar, Yela, and around the asteroid belts. I rose up the ranks with him in these jobs. As he trusted me more to take these guys out, I realized something interesting about the more intense jobs. Deep within the asteroid belts of Yela lie cargo ships with maize, weevil eggs, slam, and scrap. These ships were carrying cargo, and I started thinking to myself, why should I be paid a measly 100,000 credits for risking my life when I could do that and get the cargo from these ships? I started sneaking up to these ships and scanning them for what loot they had, and if the time was right, I started my attack. These ships move like boats, but there's many of them. I'm getting attacked by 4 ships at once. And after a lot of tries, I had this down to a science. Loading up my ship with cargo after I defeated them. Even one of these boxes is worth all 6 hauling missions I was doing back at the station, and selling the cargo at an asteroid base named Grim Hex, a haven for the rats of the system. One after another, I would take these ships in for my own. Crime does pay. And soon, I was heavily wanted, which is fine for now, but in the future it was going to cause me problems. I wanted to get ahead of it. There was only one logical way to get rid of these crimes that I had accumulated. That was to hack into the main law database and get rid of it myself. There's a security outpost in the system near the moon Salin, and if you can get into it, you can hack the database and take away all your charges. I had 2 Tiger's Claw with me, and to be honest, I just searched a YouTube tutorial that was like a year old, and I really had no idea what I was about to get into. All I had was a handgun. The first kill goes good, but I soon realize that I'm in over my head with just doing this alone with a handgun. Unfortunately, I am not cut out for this life, and I started bleeding and I had no idea what to do. I'm still kind of a new player, so I ran back to my ship, got in it, hightailed out of there. The next thing that I thought about was I need a med pen, so I got out of my cockpit, got a med pen. That didn't help, and I died and went to jail. Klesher Rehabilitation Facility is no joke. This is prison, and when you have a crime stat of 4, you're here for like 30 hours. And the only way to reduce your hours is to mine, or there is another way. In the deep parts of the mine, the comm link goes down, and you can kill the miners there, take their rocks, and go bring them back. And it is much faster than mining, but you have to do it a lot, and especially in my case. But I finally got out, and lo and behold, I got released back into Lorville. But I still had all the credits I made to purchase my own Constellation Taurus. Daymar, a moon of Crusader. I went there originally because I still had some ETAM left at Grim Hex, and it does not sell well there. So the next best place was Rio's Breaker Yard. However, they don't take 32 SKU boxes, but I found a way to get around that. If you just place it like so, the box will glitch out, it'll disappear, and suddenly, if you go to the commodity shop, you'll see it right there, available to sell. It was nice to get away from Yela, but I realized something. There was actually real activity on Daymar. With the new mining content, which I really had no idea about, I decided to go take a look for myself, and I landed at one of the satellite camps, where you go in where there is a lot of loot, and I was going goblin mode. You go in here and clear a garage, which gives you access to a blue card key, which opens up the blue garages, which then gives you access to a red card key, which you then take and go into the main hub of the area, clear the place out, which is doable solo. long as you have a lot of med pens and you're constantly picking up guns. That red card key gives you access to the rooms there, which you can take a comlink card, but you also have a lot of guns and armor to loot. I kind of take the comlink cards just because I think it's kind of funny. Just one solo player has all these cards. I have about 4 of them now. Maybe someday I can align and mine all by myself. But I have gotten major loot over the time that I've been doing this, and I have a bunch of different armor types, which I've been enjoying. I like the customization of this game. I like the different types of clothing that you can get. On my way out, I saw a few people. I saw this guy coming out of his ship, which I looked back and he didn't fire, I didn't fire, so we just kept on moving on. And then I chose peace. Peace for me, at least. Doing this gave me some crime, but you know, this was kind of vengeance. A lot of people have come through here with bombers and done this to me. So an eye for an eye, it makes the whole world blind. I can't see shit. So I even went up to the laser and made sure the whole area was clear. The last thing that I did in this journey, I made probably 50 million credits from this whole thing. And I thought I needed to get some luxury. So I rented 600i, a luxury yacht for myself. And I went on a space cruise. I went to space, hung out, watched a sunset on the bed, and then I went over to Pyro, into Bloom, and hung out there for a while. It was really nice. The views are beautiful, and the ship is immaculate. So far, I've had a great time in Star Citizen.